I'm going to show you how to section it into 5 primal. The picnic, boston, the loin that include the rack, the belly and the spare ribs, and the hams. Okay? Now, an easy way to remember when you actually debone is that you work from the head to the tail. So that's the way the bones go into each other. So it's going to be a lot easier to debone it if you follow that rule. Now, this is the fat. This is the fat they use for lard. It's a soft fat, and it will melt neatly. So you'll low heat a little bit of water if you want, and just keep it at low temperature as possible. Now, there is 13 ribs. Every animal has 13 ribs. You're going to count 3. You work from the head down to the tail. At the third one, you make a mark, and this is where we're going to cut the first section. Now, let me remove the skirt steak here out of the way. Now, you cut the bone with the saw, and you cut the meat with the knife. Don't cut the meat with the saw, okay? It's going to shred the meat. This is the easy part. Cut one at a time, and this saw is very good. Now, this is the rib cage. Now, I'm going to cut the flesh, and I'm going to hit the blade bone round the knees, and I'm going to finish cutting where I'm sitting right on it.
So you're hitting the shoulder blade right now?
Shoulder blade. And I'm going to finish the cut with the saw. Cut through the shoulder blade approximately an inch or so. You hear it right here? There we go. You can hear the different sound. Now, you want to use a long knife. If you use a little knife, you're going to have ripple into the meat. Look at this. Beautiful. Look at the fat. About an inch and a half. Gorgeous. Now, you try to have a clean cut as possible, okay? It's very important. Now, we're going to remove the ham. But before that, let's get the pieces that gets in the way first out. See, there is a membrane here. That you move this out of the way. And here you have the tenderloin, okay? So now I'm removing a little bit here. Now, where you're going to cut it, I need to turn this a little bit sideways. Okay. Now, this is the tailbone, and this is the hip bone. Right in the middle, right here. That makes the ham, and that the rest will be the loin. Here, that's your line here. And when you get down here, it's cut on the bias here, okay? This way you keep most of the belly here. You hear this? So don't be afraid to move it around, otherwise you have no access to the meat, okay? And most of the waste on the cutting board.
So that's the ham.
That's the ham. That's the short ham, okay?
Beautiful.
You gotta be, like I said, comfortable. Okay, here you have the tenderloin. I'm gonna, with the tip of the knife, go up there. In the beginning, you may have to find out where the bone is, so take small strokes, you know. Okay, when you're down here like this, I then take my cleaver. And, okay, that's good. All right, now I'll take the cleaver and scrape the bone. And you have your tenderloin that's coming right off. Remove the tenderloin right here. Okay? Now skirts, remove it. One or the other. Yeah, the berry and the spare ribs together. At the first chop here, 4 inch is usually the width of your hand. Okay? And from here you keep straight, because if you don't, your bone's going to be crooked. So you go. Let me put it to the edge like this. I'm using the edge to guide the knife for a straight cut. Don't cut the cutting board underneath, if you can avoid. And let the weight of the meat do the job for you. So that's the belly and the rib. Now you see the belly is not that big compared to some of the bellies you see, because they breed for different purposes. This is breed for meat. you have the rack. The rack usually is 7 to 8. In the United States, 8. Now you have a choice in that you can leave, normally if you're going to split the loin from the rack, it's usually even. And the way you do that is you count the first 2 ribs here, the floating ribs from the butt starting up. 1, 2, and you cut. That's going to give you approximately the same yield. Now, if you're interested in getting the pork chops, well, you get the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So depending on what you need, you will customize your cut to it. That's why it's good to know how to do it. Now, I don't know if you realize, but when you receive the pork here, when they split this, they're going to split this straight in the middle, going perpendicular. And what happened is that you get 1 or 2 chops that cut that you cannot use. You should cut the meat going with the bone, and you won't have that problem. And you follow the angle, and you will have the whole. You won't have to miss and have a piece like this that has a bone and a piece that has no bone at the end. Now, it's always better to look at the bones, and this way you can know where you cut. So feel for the bone. Right here. Okay, this one here. I know the bone. I take a knife and I will cut, long stroke, cutting the bone. Pull out through a little bit. Now you separate those 2. Like so. You take it, twist it, and you have it. This is the spinal cord.
So now he's going to separate the shoulder from and the picnic ham.
Messy. To split this, very easy. You see the shoulder blade? Right here. So that's your mark, right here. Go. The bust and butt, and here you have the picnic. Now, if you don't know which one is which, the picnic looks like a small hand that you take on a picnic. This is why it's called a picnic.